safety squints engaged.
I was able to check out the car, and there's no oil in this.
So you really wanted to void the warranty?
Yes, we're all about voiding the warranty.
Alright, let's give this a try. Okay, got a customer's K-Series transmission here. I thought I would put together a quick video of going back together, kind of a DIY kind of deal. Customer originally came in or dropped off his transmission, was having issues where in neutral the wheels were still spinning. I've seen this before, it's pretty common. What ends up happening, this ring, this friction ring, ends up getting installed incorrectly, and these little tabs will actually, I wouldn't say grind, but the tabs are not lined up correctly in the hole, and that's what causes the issue. But got the trans torn apart, got everything cleaned up. Basic tools, obviously 10, 12, 14, 17 for this one. This guy has Allen's for his transmission case. So 6 mil, 8 mil, 12 mil, 14. Basic pry bar, silicone. Customer ordered new friction damper. So let's get this friction damper put in real quick. I'll show you kind of the quick basics, how this goes together, and how this happens. K-Series transmissions, the countershaft itself, you have to use a press to press everything apart and press everything back together. So if you look here, there are these 3 indents, and on here there's these 3 little tangs. The tangs need to sit down inside that indent. When it does not sit in the indent, you can see it actually has been rubbing on the actual inner hub. So going together, you've got to be very careful putting everything together. So let's throw this together here real quick. Normally what I like to do, let's see if you can see this. See how those tangs drop right down into that. This guy is how he put this together. Apparently he put new synchros. Looks like a new second gear. So even when you go to line this up to get this to drop down, you can now see that it's moved yet again. So let's put all this together. So with this particular one, this inner synchro has to match with this here, so we can get this to drop in. Once that drops in, we can line this up. Then we can line this up. And once all this goes together, you can see they're down inside. This sleeve actually holds that in. Now that the sleeve is in, we can put the bearing in Now, as long as this set does not move, does not twist, separate, that damper will stay. This is the trick. Trying to make it stay. So normally I'll take this whole assembly, install the whole assembly directly onto the counter shaft itself. And at that point, everything should still be good. Now, let's go and start putting the rest of these gears and everything on. So let's take all this, take all this over to the press. This is where it gets interesting. So, you've got a couple ways to put this together. What I find works the best is doing everything one gear at a time. I've seen some people will go and just stack all the gears up and then use the press to just press them all together. The problem is trying to get clock position correct to get all the splines lined up. I can never get it correct, or it just always ends up, it ends up not being lined up versus another. So I like to take one gear at a time and press each gear individually together. See if we can throw something in there. So we're not sitting here pumping for days. All right. So let me show you. So if you take a look here, once you get, this is our first, second, third gear. So first gear still spins fine. Second gear doesn't spin anymore. Notice that it doesn't spin. It doesn't spin because that damper is not in the hole. It's not in the right spot. This is what causes the wheels to spin while it's in neutral. So that damper has moved when I put this together. This means we got to pull this back apart and realign that damper. So let's pull this back apart. There's our damper. Need the other part of the synchro. Line up the docks on the synchro to the inner hub. Fat fingers don't get down in there. All right, let's try again. First is good. Oh, what's going on here? Let's see. Something's not right. Just the smallest little movement, unfortunately, makes this thing come out of its hole. Alright, we've got something else going on. This is still locked up. What is going on here? Let's take this back over here. Let's completely blast this apart. No abnormal wear. Hub looks fine there. Roller bearing looks good. Tolerances look fine there. What is going on? Let's try one more thing. Wrong one, stupid. My goodness. My brain's not working this morning. It's too early for this crap. Alright, there's our problem. Why is that doing that? It's hard to see. This center sleeve is not protruding up past the second gear. So as soon as you go to sandwich it together, it's literally just locking up the gear. But why? I don't see any bluing on the sleeve. Need a rag. Let's put this on without any bearings, without a roller bearing, without a synchro. So without a roller bearing and a synchro, it seems to be fine. Obviously this isn't going to change anything. Height still seems to be okay. It's the synchro. Why though? The synchro's causing it to protrude up. Haha! Check this out. Synchro spring. 2 synchro springs. Why is there 2 synchro springs? So, let's make sure. First has a spring. So when someone went to change synchro springs, they forgot to pull the second gear synchro spring off. That would definitely cause it as well. So, back apart. Let's realign. Put this in. Haha, look at those clearances now. Fits good now. So, normally, you do not have to put the entire shaft together to verify, since this one presses on. And if this is in neutral, you should be able to spin this. Good. Good. Now it spins. We know that it's good because this has been pressed together. There's no additional play here. So now that this is good, free spinning, this is good, free spinning, we can now put all the rest of the gears on. Come on. Gonna have to adjust. Adjust this down a little bit. Try to get my alignment decent. Normally every time I put a new gear on, just quickly go back through, double check. That's all good. right, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. This is a 5-speed trans, EP3 trans. This one gets the spacer on top. There's a real small shim washer spacer. It goes right on the top and it sits down inside here. When you're using a press and you're constantly flipping the shaft up and down, I've seen these washers will move. So it's critical that this washer stays in place, so when this bearing gets pressed on, that it seats correctly. Let's see. What do we got here? I've got a bin. I don't know if you all can see that, but normally I like to keep a bin of just random either erases, different things that I can use to on the press, take up space. I don't know why I actually really like these railroad ties. They work good. Just quick, easy, throw it on there. They're strong and then they don't take up that much space. Perfect. So, oh, it's all right. All right. One of these days I'll actually get air over to this thing. It is a pneumatic ram. And sometimes I'll drag the air hose over here, but I'd like to actually plumb air to this thing. Okay. We have a completed shaft. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, the spacer, and then the bearing. So we'll double check. Second gear's good. First gear's good. Let's put this top nut on. I like to put a little dab of Loctite, not anything crazy. Nothing crazy on that bolt for the top of the counter shaft. This is a reverse thread bolt too. Let's just put a little dab on there. I'll throw that on. And there's my phone all day. Ding da ding da ding ding. Ding 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 ding. Dang, I should make that my ringtone. Okay, 12 mil. 12 millimeter Allen right on the top, in reverse. Couple of duggas. Once it's completely tightened down, again, I'll go back through, double check. Second's good. First is good. Awesome. This is ready to go back together. So, fortunately, I didn't record anything as far as taking this apart. Also installed a M Factory LSD. Didn't really record any of that, but just real quick, put new bearings on it. Can you see? Yep, you can see fine. Put new bearings on it, and I swapped the speedo gear from his old diff to this diff. And then I've already re-shimmed this accordingly. So luckily it didn't take too much as far as shims go. Before I start putting anything else together, let me show you. Gosh dang it, I need more room in my garage. If there's a flat spot in my garage, it's got something going on. So, this plastic splash shield oil diverter, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't even know what the technical name for this thing is. It pretty much takes oil that's slung up by the differential, and then it puts it down into these particular holes and oils the gear set. So what I find that works the best, because this technically sits in the case, and then as soon as you go to flip this case upside down to put it on the transmission, this just ends up falling out. So before I start to put the gear set in, I'll normally take a little bit of silicone, put silicone in those two little holes where these go, and then when you put it together, that will hold it. So we'll let that sit for a couple minutes while we put all this together. So let's see, what should we do next? Well, let's tear this down real quick. So a customer actually provided a bunch of parts. I recommended that we change out the this part on the shift selector itself. I just need to turn down some more. Here's that. Perfect, that's way better. Cool. So let's change this out real quick and then I'll show you new versus old. It is a 12 mil. So if you hold the bottom of this, since the spring's here, if you hold the bottom, that'll allow you to pull the bolt out. Then once you pull the bolt out, you'll be able to slide this entire assembly out. And we are changing just this piece. As soon as I can figure this out here. So it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see right here how worn out this is. Here's a new one versus an old one. It's pretty worn out. So we will put this back into here. Other recommendation that I would probably do, these springs, change out these shift springs. Come on. Get in there. Come on, really? There it goes. We'll fish all this back together. There's one. Gonna look down at the end, see what the problem here is. Right. There is a washer here, a spring washer, that make sure that doesn't go anywhere. 4 Duggas. And that's back together, ready to go. Alright. We're ready to put the gear set in. Before we put the gear set in, there are washers that sit under the main shaft. As soon as I find them. It's normally not this messy. This is not my trans bench. This is technically... Oh, there's a bunch of other crap on here. I normally use this bench for ECUs. So, this shift fork sits upside down. Third and fourth shift fork. And then fifth reverse. So, the fifth reverse actually sits in front of the 3/4. And then the first and second will actually go behind all the rest of the forks. Let me show you. So you pick up that fork, those two will go together, and then it goes behind. Then you take the entire assembly, we'll drop everything into their corresponding hole, make sure the forks go in. That one's in, that looks good. What's going on there? There it goes. Alright. Put all the sleeves in neutral. Let's put the reverse lever on. Not use the impact for that. I definitely don't want to extract those bolts this morning. Alright, we can look on the back side, make sure that's good. Move y'all up a little. Aha, I can see now. Y'all been staring at the bottom case. What is going on here? So something's not right. So unlike on a B series, this pin is this dowel pin, whatever you want to call it. There's another pin that'll actually pin into the case so it lines up correctly. This pin, let's see if I can move this. This pin has to be pointed the right direction. If you go and just put this pin in, since it will just spin, if you put it in like this and you put the whole transmission together, the bolt that holds the pin from moving, obviously you can't get to it. You'll have to completely disassemble the whole transmission just to go whoop. So if you look at this bolt hole right here, normally I'll line up this hole to this bolt hole or to this web right here. So as long as you can get it somewhere in this area, even if it's not close, you can at least get a small pick or something and actually get it and roll it into the correct location. And it looks like our GoPro might die. Great. So it being a 5-speed, utilizes this. What do you want, Jesse? Go. This is all nice and free. This is lined up correctly. So at this point, everything should be ready to go. We need to grab. We took the magnet completely out. Where'd my rad go? It's over there. We took the magnet completely out. Clean the magnet real good. Let's make sure we get the magnet put back in. This magnet actually just sits down inside there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but all right, we're ready to silicone. Hopefully this GoPro doesn't die. What GoPro do you guys use? Do you guys have GoPros? What's your GoPro choice? This is a 10. Jesse's 10. We might have to change GoPros here in a second. Luckily we've got a few of these. Alright. I like to go through and smear everything, make sure it's all completely covered. I prefer gray. Last person had black on here. I don't really care for black. I don't like the properties of the black. On top of that, technically, at that point you see a transmission that has black silicone on it and you immediately know that someone's been in it. Grays, OEM to imports. I'm trying to hurry. Running out of time. Go, 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 go. All right. So on the top of this, the actual main shaft itself, there is this piece that needs lined up correctly so it fits inside of the top case. So if you look in the actual top case itself, the top case has a spot specifically for it. Let's line that up. All right, now, since we glued this plastic piece in, when we flip it over, it doesn't fall. We can slowly slide the case down. And then if all cooperates correctly, which of course it doesn't seem like it's going to. You know, I've only done like 100 of these. Oh, there goes the plastic piece. I guess if you were smart, you would probably let this silicone completely set up. Why is this not wanting to go on? Aha! That's my fault. Let me show you. So, you need to throw something under the trans case. Under the trans case so the shaft does not hit the workbench. Rookie mistake, I know. What is going on? Something's getting caught up and I don't know what it is. So, that's good, that's good. Come on. Come on, come on. Get it. So close. It's right there. Hey. Okay, so also anytime, Jesus, this is gonna die. Anytime that you do put these on, these forks will always misalign. So if you realign them back up, I don't know if you saw that or not, but the whole case will end up completely going down. Forgot snap ring pliers. Hurry, quick. I don't know if we're gonna be able to make this video, but there's two long bolts. The two long bolts go one on top, one on bottom. We'll put all this together, bench shift it, make sure it's good, and back to the customer it goes. Just waiting for this GoPro to die. Last time I looked, it was like 6%, 3%. These bolts don't need super crazy torque. So many people will overdo it and use the biggest impact they can find. Nope, it just needs snug. Nothing crazy. I guess coming from the guy that was just using an impact. All right, real quick, let's see. So this is that bolt hole I was telling you about for the reverse. Someone's missing the crush washer here, but that's not even the right bolt. Yeah, that's not anywhere remotely close to the right bolt. Cool, so we're gonna get the right bolt, we're gonna get a crush washer on here, and get the rest of this put together. As soon as I get another battery charged, I will we'll resume where we left off, and I might put this together. Finish putting it together off camera, but yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, comments, comment down below. Like, subscribe, you know the whole spiel. Thanks for watching. Guess this is where I should turn the camera off.